All right. So like, I mean, you guys already kind of kicked off Andor. So after the final season of Andor, is this the end of Star Wars Prestige TV? I'll go with you, John, first.
That's a great question. I think as long as the current regime is in charge, and yes, this happened under the current regime, but in a way, it's almost like an Elseworlds type of thing. I think until the current regime is changed over, we won't see anything like this again. Anything remotely close to prestige television like this. Again, I don't think this is Filoni's instincts, and I don't think this is necessarily Kathleen Kennedy's instincts. So I would be very surprised. So I don't think we're going to see it until new management comes in to run the franchise.
What about you, Chris?
I agree a little bit, but it doesn't. Not everything has to be like Andor going forward, you know. But because we need the mystical and the fantastical stuff too. But yeah, I think they're gonna learn from this one, and we're going to see something like this again. Just hopefully, not every project going forward is going to be in this way, because I'm going to be depressed watching Star Wars all the time if that's how it's going to be. And I'm going to watch it. But I will be depressed.
There was a baby at the end, Chris.
There was a baby, and I did smile. But we went through a lot before that smile happened.
What about you, Pete?
Yeah, I have to agree with John in that I feel like this was sort of a once in a whatever rotation. I don't know. It's not going to be a common way of doing things, and I think one of the biggest challenges is watching people put down other Star Wars as a result, right? I mean, Ahsoka had its own feel, Kenobi had its own feel. All the different shows have their own look and feel, and the reality is it's not all going to be like this. However, there was something that was so rich and so tactile, and it just felt so real. It was something that I think we all loved, and I would love to see more of it. And I wonder if an Ahsoka type of story, a Jedi type of story, would work in this vein. And I think the next time we're going to see something this gritty is going to probably be the Dawn of the Jedi movie. I just feel like that's going to be in this sort of, dark time kind of, really kind of not as shiny and poppy as Star Wars can be. I think it's going to be more in this vein, but I'm all for it. So bring me more. But again, recognizing if you love Andor, it doesn't mean that you can't love Ahsoka and Grogu. So I think it's a fair point.
Fair enough. Nick, bring us home on this one.
So while I do agree with what John said, as far as Filoni and Kennedy, and this may not necessarily, this could have been a little bit of lightning in the bottle. I am going to say the other half of that equation is there are some bean counters. There are some people on the business side of this who have looked at the success of this, and we've seen it marketed differently than the Acolyte was. The Acolyte had the potential to be somewhere in this neighborhood. There were some editing issues. There are some other things. I think they're willing to take another crack at it. I don't think it's going to be Tony Gilroy, because I think this was his thing. But there's a Rian Johnson that's floating around out there with some connections, and he's done stuff like Poker Face. I think that they could say, hey, maybe you don't do a trilogy of movie. Maybe there's another prestige Star Wars, something that Rian Johnson does that falls into a Knives Out or a Poker Face or another realm similar to that. So I'm going to say the analysts at Disney are going to take a look at this and go, we got some good stuff out of this. There's got to be another way to squeeze this tomato again.